September 22 is a day set aside in the international calendar to observe and spread awareness on rhino poaching in the world. The day is marked to increase awareness on the conservation of these vulnerable animals. There are 5 rhino species and 11 subspecies across the world. The 5 rhino primary species are the greater one-horned rhino, which are at high risk of being poached. In South Africa, the latest poaching numbers have increased with 451 rhinos killed in South Africa. It is the first time in 6 years that the country has recorded an increase in rhino poaching incidents. Albie Modise, Chief Director, Communications Department of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment in South Africa, joins me now on the news to discuss this. Many thanks for your time. Today is World Rhino Day, and it is significant. How significant, really, is it in the conservation and protection of rhinos?
Well, good afternoon, and thanks for the opportunity. South Africa today joined its partners globally as we also mark World Rhino Day. It's a significant day because South Africa is the home of the biggest rhino population in the world. But also we understand the fact that we are looking after the rhino, not just only for South Africa, we're doing it for the world. So it's an important day to mark, but also to use this day to raise awareness about the challenges that we continue to face as we, and you correctly pointed out in your intro, facing the marauding poachers who keep on stealing the rhino horn from our parks, and thereby threatening the conservation efforts and strides we've made over the past few years.
It is indeed important to preserve these animals. What are some of the significant measures that the SANParks have put across to raise awareness on rhino poaching?
Look, we understand the fact that rhinos exist as part of the conservation efforts. We have put a plethora of legislation in South Africa to protect the rhino. There is already the Black Rhino Management Plan. We have also, as part of the efforts, worked closely with the police service. We have put the rhino conservation as part of key priority projects under the National Wildlife Strategic Framework, which requires of us that we work closely with the enforcement authorities, i.e. the police. We make sure that we work in partnership with the private rhino owners because they also have been facing immense number of incursions on their privately owned parks. But also the work that we continue to do as government in partnership with different countries, because we understand the fact that even though rhino poaching happens in South Africa, the demand for the rhino horn, it's being fueled from outside of South Africa. We understand the fact that there are countries that have been tempted to be transit states, which are countries where most of the time when a rhino horn is stolen from South Africa, they're being transported via those countries. But also we are mindful of the fact that there are those countries that are purported to be the consumers of the rhino horn. So we've got partnerships with countries like Mozambique, largely because Mozambique is neighboring the national parks, and therefore it's important to work closely with them. We've got also a memorandum of understanding with China. We have a memorandum of understanding with Vietnam. And those partnerships are important because when we have incursions or we have any interceptions at our ports of entry or exit, individuals who mostly come from those countries are arrested, and some of them from South Africa. We're able to open lines of communications between South Africa and those particular countries, whether it's Mozambique, whether it's Vietnam, or it's China, or even Laos.
Other than poaching and the commendable efforts that you're putting out to stop it, what are some of the challenges that your parks are facing in terms of security or biological management?
Look, we continue to have to face a number of challenges that you correctly pointed out, and that have the biological challenges. I mean, we have recognized the fact that we've made progress on security, and also that the biological management and the legislative program have been met with critical success, and remaining notably would be the areas of community empowerment. The issue of community empowerment is important because communities live around the national parks. Whenever there's going to be any incursions into national parks, some of those people would be camping in those communities. So it's important communities becoming a part of conservation, because actually this month in South Africa, it's also Heritage Month. On Saturday, the president will lead celebration of Heritage Month, and rhino is part of South Africa's heritage. But also this month is also Tourism Month, and therefore it's important to locate the rhino within the broader space of conservation of heritage and tourism. And there's also the other element of the national strategy to combat wildlife trafficking, which places a huge responsibility on all the different partners, privately owned, private owners, the government, be it from a legislative point of view, from security point of view, from defense force point of view in terms of the border patrols. So all of us cumulatively contribute towards ensuring that all our efforts to thwart rhino poaching records success.
Thank you very much, Albie, for speaking with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.